As you all know, these days are packed with a lot of activity. And we have a lot of program content that we want to get through to today, and we've got some very special guests who are going to be arriving a little later this morning. But it's nice to know that we, in turn, are considered guests of the Hunt family, which we certainly appreciate very much. And we're also guests of this beautiful town of Orange, and I would like Representative Denise Andrews, who represents this lovely area, to say hello. Representative?
Does it get any better than this? No, it doesn't. Just so you know my background, I'm qualified to drive a honey wagon. Okay? My great-grandparents were the Moore family and the Moore dairy. So I'm 55, you can do the math, great-grandparents. And, you know, I've had the blessing to grow up in Orange. Founding family from 1810 on my mom's side. Have gone to school with the Hunts my whole life. Carol and Sue worked for Mrs. Hunt at Goodwill Camp. And I understand the importance of farming. We have one of the Hunts that we're sharing with New York, but he's a farmer, so we're okay with that one. I had to grill him this morning. But you are the special guests, okay? Without you, we wouldn't have good food. Okay, without you, we wouldn't have great milk. And without you, we wouldn't have a quality of life that you know how hard it is to maintain. And you know the importance of it. It is doing God's work, okay? And I know people have different spiritual beliefs, and I respect that. However, I also know it's important to use all the energies to keep the blessings flowing, not only for the animals, okay, not only for the families that are taking great care of them, but for all the people's lives you touch and the communities you touch, because you do this work. And, you know, I was trying to figure out who has the hardest job in society. Is it a parent or is it a farmer? And most of the farmers are parents too, so I think the farmers get the edge on that one. And, you know, we've seen, you know, any hour some cow can be delivering a calf. And you're there, right? So hats off, you make this country great. You make this world better. It is crystal clear to me that we want successful farms passed generation to generation, and we want it to be a good living life and profitable for you and your family. So on economic development and job creation, which is my #1 objective, great food being grown here, milk, fair deals when you sell it to market, really important. Tourism for our farmers markets, policy issues, so that locally grown food is local. It's not 200 miles away. I could be in New York City, okay, about 200 miles away. So that we really accelerate the return to the essence of a good life, which is great food. And, you know, I've said since I returned home, there's no reason our area can't be what Napa Valley is to wine, what we are to good food in this region of the Commonwealth. So we do have some other of your partners coming. You know, I want to bring regards from Senator Rosenberg, who is 100% in line with farmers, Senator Brewer, who we will miss, Representative Goby, I can't remember if she's coming today or not, Governor Patrick and his team for that, and I still owe Mr. Hunt from Agriculture Day his picture with the governor, so I have it in my hard drive, but I haven't had a minute to print it yet. So call me in my office any day of the week. If you want to have a conversation, I'm happy to do it over a tractor, okay, and get out of the office to just stay connected. But, you know, may you continue to be blessed. You ask for things. Georgie Hunt Jr. is phenomenal. George, when I returned home, told me some of the issues that the farmers need. And we've worked through them. There's one pending one. I don't think we're going at aggressively enough asking for more things for the farmers, my opinion. So one of my homework assignments with the leadership of the Mass Dairy Farmers is, if we were to dream and really move things forward, what would be some of those asks, okay? Because if you are the stewards of this really important part of our society and culture, aren't dreaming and saying, here's what we got to do for policy, in taxes. We just did a small tax credit in the House, I think it was last week. you know, we won't know what we need to do to support you. So, you know, I'm there and happy to wrestle in a few to get them to the table to do what we need to. But it's a privilege to be here on the Hunt Farm again. It's a privilege to be with the Mass Farmers. And let's continue to have fun, enjoy God's work, and make a difference in the world. Thank you.
She made it sound like that was a new interest, but it's been a long-standing interest. We've been in her office many times, doors always open. Her staff's been great to me and to Brad, who are on the Hill every day on your behalf. And she's now opened the door even wider to say, be dreaming. We've got some dreams that may be nightmares for some others, but we'll be in to share those thoughts. Those of you who just arrived, feel free to come in under the tent. We have plenty of seats open. We love to have you being seated. I'd like to introduce Dave Shepard, President of MADF, who will also introduce the officers and board members. David?
Most of you know me. Farm is Elmview Farm in Warren, Mass. About 6 months away from 300 years in the family. So we're getting excited for that. Introduce the directors. Some of them may not be here, but the ones who are, if you please stand to be recognized as a group. Chip Hager, Vice President. Warren Facey, Executive Director. Darrell Williams, Treasurer. Dave Hanson, Secretary. Kathy Herrick. George Hunt, Jr. Mark Duffy. John Holey, Richard Woodger, Jim Larkin, Jimmy Larkin, Peter Melnick, Peter Hawks, Kim Stevens, Gordy Cook, and Louis Araby. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody. Most of you know Henry Gillette, our Executive Director, who opened the meeting. And Rena Sumner, our Executive Secretary, is under the tent with her husband Scott. So next I'd like to turn it over to George Hunt Jr. to give us an overview of his farm.
Thanks to everybody for showing up today. Appreciate it. Taking the time to come to the event. Special thanks to my parents, Ann and George. And also to Brian Mansfield at Padulas for co-sponsoring the event with us here today. My wife Christina, son James, daughter Heather, daughter Jessica, and son-in-law Luke Getty. Thanks again everybody for coming, and I really enjoy answering questions, what I can answer. I can tell you, mistakes and errors that we made through the solar process. But rather than have me stand here and prattle on, I'd rather have you, ask me some questions later on if you have any. Thanks again for coming, and we'll turn it back to Dave.
Next, I'd like to thank our sponsors, like the Hunt family, obviously, and Padula Equipment for sure. A&B Insurance, Agrimart, Central Connecticut Farmers Cooperative, Crop Production Services, Dairy Farmers of America, Farm Credit, Feed Commodities Inc., International, Mass Farm Bureau, Monsanto, Cool & Grain, USDA RMA Program Consulting Custom Ag Solutions. The milk today is donated by Maple Line Dairy, the Koski family in Hadley. The ice cream has been donated by Warren Shaw, the Shaw Dairy family from Drake. And again, lunch is provided by Hunt Farm and Padula Brothers. companies give a brief 60-second infomercial on what they can do for you today. First up is ESI Energy Systems, Lawrence Cook.
I'd like to say a little something about Lawrence. You know, if you go to a fair, they always have those English-speaking guys because everybody stands in rapt attention when they're selling you the cutlery that you don't need. Well, you've got one here today.
Thank you, George. My name is Lawrence Cook. I am the New England Project Manager for Energy Systems and Installation. We're a full turnkey energy solutions provider, dealing with on-roof solar, such as we've got on the barn down here, to full utility scale solar. Although we didn't have any involvement with that one, we built those as well. Our CEO is from a dairy farming family, knows all about the pressures that all of you are under, and we can tailor-make any solution that would make you more profitable, and certainly help with cash flow and diversification. So if you stood over there, if anyone's got any questions, please come and see me.
Next, Farm Credit, Robert Wigmore.
Good morning. Thanks very much for the Hunt family to sponsor this. And Farm Credit is financial services, lending, leasing, and we really appreciate our customers' support and patronage. And part of that program, we do provide patronage dividend for our customers. And we really appreciate you being supportive of our business, and we'd like to be supportive of yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next would be Bill Jordan, Jordan Energy.
So our company didn't build this. Yes, I did. We didn't build that, but George asked me to look at both proposals. And our company is a development company that we tried to show him how we might make a little bit more on that and a little bit more on that as the dairy farmer. So our background is with agriculture, Special Assistant to Commissioner of Agriculture in New York State for many years. And we do have a national program to put solar on a lot of dairies as the dairy industry seeks to make more money by adopting this kind of renewable energy alternative. So we're right over there, and George and his family have graciously introduced us to a lot of you already, but we're open to looking at how solar might improve your bottom line and your business's operation.
Next, Chris Cooper from Resource Management.
Thanks, David. So, Resource Management Incorporated is a company that recycles industrial organic products like wood ash that comes from biomass plants that are burning whole tree chips to produce electricity. One of our plants is right down the road in Fitchburg, and that wood ash that they supply is a great source of lime and potassium. We also work with paper mills to recycle their short paper fiber, the fibers that are just too short to bind in the new paper products that they're recycling to. And that product is great to apply to your good sandy fields that are really droughty and have a hard time holding moisture. That increases that organic matter of those fields and really helps to help those crops grow. George can attest to that as we've done some of that work with him on some of his fields. And then we also work with wastewater treatment facilities to recycle their biosolids. So when wastewater goes to a treatment facility, they clean it out, they have clean water that goes back into our water systems, and then they have the solids, which are biosolids. And we take those solids and we mix them with wood ash to form a Class A biosolid that can be land applied. And that's a great source of nitrogen, phosphorus, it's got a lot of organic matter in it, but it also gets lime and potassium from the wood ash that it's blended with. We work with a lot of farmers throughout Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, the rest of New England. We're a service company, so we provide a lot of services along with our products because our goal is to be your partner from start to finish. It's very important to us that you're successful because it's only when you're successful that our company is successful. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We have a booth set right over there, and we thank you for your time.
Next, we'll be here for John Manga. Custom Ag Solutions.
Thank you. I had to hurry. He told me it was $20 for every second over 60. So I thought that was an all right deal. My name is John Mangus. I'm with Custom Ag Solutions. We do work for the USDA and their risk management agency. The most important thing that the dairy producers in this Commonwealth need to worry about at this point is this last farm bill that went through. Remember when they passed the health care bill and they said, hey, we'll find out what's in it after you pass it? I felt a little bit like that about the farm bill as far as there's so much interpretation that has to go on. But for dairy producers, the important thing is the milk program is going away and you're going to have this dairy margin protection program. And it's not yet defined, but what I'm going to tell you is you need to make sure that you follow it, that you track it online. There's a lot of tools out there to make decisions. You're going to be making some decisions that really matter. And they're going to be decisions that matter for more than just a month. It might actually lock you in for a year or two. I have information on some of these programs. I'm back on that booth right over there. Thanks.
Brian Mansfield, Padula Brothers.
First, I'd like to thank the Hunts and the Association for having us and inviting us out here today. It's a beautiful day, and I don't think I could be with a better group of people. Padula Brothers has locations currently in Lancaster, Mass. and Raynham, Mass., so I know quite a few people in the crowd doing business with you over the years. We're going to be expanding into the Greenfield, Mass. area here in October, so that's our target date for now. We realize there's been a void. There's a lot of machines that need to be supported, and we're looking forward to getting to know you guys. So again, I appreciate you having us. Carrie Alberg's with me today from John Deere Company. Terry Robeson, who will be managing my Greenfield store, as well as George Davenport, who's going to be coming out and covering Western Mass for us. So again, thanks for having us.
Henry, you ready?
As you well know, during the course of the year, we do direct advocacy for dairy farmers in Massachusetts through MADL. We also partner with a lot of agencies to expand, if you will, the reach and the extension of information as a way of public education to the consumer, to regulators and legislators. At this point in the program, we'd like to hear from some of those partners, if you will, on program development and economic development for agriculture in the Commonwealth. Kelly Coleman, I believe, checked in. I haven't seen her yet. There she is. Kelly, we got you first. Kelly is one of the directors at CSAR. He was an invaluable partner in so many issues that we work with in agriculture. She's also been very instrumental in putting together a special program with dairy.
Thank you so much. So CISA has partnered with the Mass Dairy Promotion Board to do some work with buy local organizations across the state of Massachusetts to promote dairy and particularly dairy farmers. Our goal is to help consumers in the state of Massachusetts understand the importance of dairy to all of our daily lives. And so one of the ways that we've done that is there are buy local campaigns in a number of areas in the state, and so we partnered with them to help them